Hey everybody, it's Laura with Jot and Tittle Vintage Typewriters, and it has been forever since I have done a typewriter tutorial for you. It's not been forever, it just feels like it. So today I have a 1961 Smith Corona Sterling 5A series, and it is an Alpine blue, and so we're just going to do a quick tutorial on it, taking a look at it. And this is a really good manual typewriter. If you're looking for an excellent manual typewriter, the Sterlings by Smith Corona are, especially the A series, the 1 to 5A series. Actually, one of my favorites is the 5AX series, has a little more of a flat look to it versus the rounded body style. But any of those 5A series or A series from the 50s, 40s and 50s are great. Actually, it starts in the 30s, I believe. They're great manual typewriters. So let's go ahead and take a look at this 5A series 1961 Smith Corona Sterling. Okay, so here we are. This is a 5A series Smith Corona Sterling, and they come in, I think it was 3 or 4 different colors. It was the Dove Gray, the Seafoam Green, the Alpine Blue, and probably that beige, which is pretty standard. I think those are the 4 colors. So if you see a Sterling in like the lighter colors, the light gray, that Dove Gray, the blue and the green, that is going to be your 5A series. I think those are the one. I don't think they showed up in the other series. The others, the earlier ones were the black or the brown. I think those were the only 2 colors. I need to double check on that. So if you see a Sterling in a color, brighter color, it's going to be in the 5A series. So let's go ahead. I'm going to load some paper, and I am using 2 sheets. And I am trying to use 2 sheets more often. It really is better for the platen. And I didn't do that when we first started our business, but I am really seeing the value of it. Just helps protect an already older platen. We don't change out our platens on ours. We just a reminder on our typewriters anyway. Well, this is a tutorial, but it's good to know. I think I still have a blog article. If not, I'll rewrite it. The difference between like a serviced and a refurbished or restored typewriter. So check out our blog for that. And that's just good information, especially when you're shopping for a vintage typewriter. So let's go ahead and, anyway, I loaded some paper and I used 2 sheets. Actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. Boy, I'm just kind of falling apart today, aren't I? All right, this is the typewriter. And if you're new to typewriters and you're watching this because you need to know how to use yours, why don't you get yours out and kind of go along with me? So the back, actually, and I'm sorry, can't really move the camera, flips open, and this is where you're going to set your tabs. And there are these little keys. I call them keys. I'm not sure what you're supposed to call them. They're tab stops, and there's grooves in this metal bar along this back. And so you put your tab stop wherever you want it, your tab to stop. There should be 6. It's rare to find a typewriter with all 6 tab stops. This one has 4. So I'm going to put this back down and put my tab stop back in there. That back piece back up there. Believe it or not, it took me like 2 years before I realized that the back flipped back. Anyway, and then here's your margins. And so you just press and drag to set your margins and wherever you want. And for tutorial videos, I usually have a margin, a small margin, because I like to show the margin release and stuff like that, but that's not something I recommend. it's just what you want. You can set it to whatever you want. There's also the paper holder right here, which I use my paper holder. It keeps that paper upright so you can see what you're typing. To move your carriage, this is your carriage. There is 2 metal levers back here, and it doesn't matter which one you use, and you just pull that forward. Your carriage is going to pull to the left, and it should. If your carriage isn't like tight and pull to the left, that means your drawband is broken and you're going to need to take it to a repair person. And then your carriage will only move as far as you have your margins set. So if I move my margins way out, I guess that one doesn't want to go any further. So it's going to go there. And then if I move it in, it's only going to go there. Okay. Over here on the right side, this is your paper release. And you can pull it and just leave it forward, and this bar will rest on it. And then make sure you re-engage it though before you start typing. Over here on the left side, you'll see a 1, 2, and 3. This is your line selector, which means here's your return handle, and that pushes the carriage back to the front of the line, plus it advances the paper either 1 line, 2 lines, or 3 lines. That's your line selector, okay? So this is single, double, triple, whatever you're fancy. And then to load a paper, you just set it up against this back plate. You just set it there, kind of till it stops, turn the handle, that should pull it right through. And you use your paper release to set it, make sure it's nice and straight, and then you're ready to go. I'm going to move the carriage all the way to the left though, because we're going to take a look under the hood. And to open up the top, you just put your hand right here and gently tug, and there you go. Here's your escapement and your typing basket here. This is where you change out your ribbon. And this uses a universal ribbon, and they're readily available. We have them on our website. You can get them on Etsy or eBay. They're very easy to find. This uses a 2-color, and the standard 2-color is red and black. So black is going to be on the top, red is going to be on the bottom. These pull out very easy, and you just set it in there. But when you do change out your ribbon, make sure you have a towel or a washcloth or gloves, something like that, because it is messy. I will be honest, changing a ribbon on a typewriter is a total pain, but it is what it is. Okay, man, I got a dry throat this morning. All right, so there's like a little guide wire right here. Same on this side. And you want to put your ribbon, and I know it's probably really, really hard for you guys to see, through that guide wire. And then I'm going to lift this up. If you need to screenshot this, pause it, whatever you need to do, that's what it looks like going through that ribbon vibrator there. Basically, hold on, I gotta get a drink of water. Okay, that's better. So basically, in this ribbon vibrator area, like this is, it looked like it was coming out, it's not. You're gonna have to look for some slits that are in the metal pieces. Sometimes they're on the top, sometimes they're in the back but in the middle, sometimes they're in the back but underneath. You just have to look for where they are. In this one, it's the back and in the middle, so you gotta kind of slide your ribbon behind here, find that slit, and then jimmy that ribbon through the slit until it looks like that. And then when your ribbon comes out, you want it to go over the top, around this back and underneath. Same with this side, it goes over the top, around, and underneath. That's the direction of the ribbon. So it's the best way I know how to tell you. It's really hard to show you because your fingers are right there and your fingers are in the way. It's just really hard to show you. Right here is a tension selector, and that just determines how hard your type bars are striking your paper. And that also has to do with how hard you hit your keys with your fingers. So I have a very light touch. My husband has a very heavy hand, And so we would have different settings if you choose to use this. I never use mine, but it is there if you would like to use it. All right, so this is your ribbon reversal. Let me open this back up. So right now the ribbon's going this direction. Now it's going to go this direction. So when you get to the end of your ribbon on the spool, it's not the end of the ink. There's lots of ink on there. So you reverse that ribbon and you just keep going back and forth till you use up all the ink in your ribbon. Now some people wonder, well, doesn't it auto reverse? It has to do with your ribbon. Some ribbons come with the grommet at the very end of the kind of the ribbon where it attaches to the spool. There's a grommet that will trigger it to auto reverse, and some ribbons don't. And so it's always good to know how to manually reverse your ribbon. Now, how do you know when to reverse it? Because what's going to happen is your typewriter is either going to stop, or you're going to notice that your font is getting really faint, or when you type, it's going to feel different. And anytime that happens, just stop and check two things. Make sure, try reversing your ribbon is always the number one. And the second is check your color selector. Like right now, I've noticed it's sitting on the white. That means it's not going to type very well. So that needs to go up on the black or all the way down on the red. That white is a stencil setting, which means that the type bars don't fully, actually what means the type bars engage with the paper, but the ribbon isn't coming up. And so it's not going to imprint. It's correction tape or something that you just won't use it. And so if it's on the white, it's not going to type properly. Okay. Let's set our margins. I'm going to bring mine in. Let's try a couple sentences. So this is, and there's not a number one on this Smith Corona Sterling, so you use the lowercase l. Some people use the uppercase I. I use the lowercase l as my one. So this is a 1961 Smith Corona Sterling Alpine Blue. And there's the lovely little bell to tell you, hey, you are at the end of your line. Time to hit that return handle and keep going. And so we can keep going. Ooh, there's that bell. So I hit the return handle and finished my sentence. Now, what happens if, let's say, so I was typing out the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog, and the last word dog is on the next line, which is really kind of awkward looking. So let's retype that line. Oh, now it's stopped on me. Oh, I want to really finish that last word. So I'm going to hit margin release, which is MR. And finish my sentence. And voila, we're done. So MR is margin release. It's for those instances where you're either in the middle of the word, or like in this case, I just want that last word on my sentence. If you're using it for every line, you are not understanding margins very well. So adjust your margins or start hitting that return handle. So this is just for that odd occasional use. Now the tabs, I showed you how to use your tabs back here. You switch them out. So when you want to, let's say, what I do is when I'm testing, like I'll type a row, and then I tab over to create another column, and then I tap another row. And it was used in accounting purposes, but some people want to indent their paragraphs, or they want to create columns. Whatever it is, that is how you use your tab. Backspace is right here. It's the arrow in case you make a mistake. If you make a mistake, and you will, not if, when you make a mistake, and you will make lots of them, that's just part of typing, there's no erase button, there's no delete button, there's a backspace, and then you can X through or line, dash through those mistakes and retype it. All right, so that is the gist of the Smith Corona Sterling, this 5A series. It's a very lovely machine, very popular body style that goes across many different models from Smith Corona, and a very classic machine. You will be very happy with it. All right, thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.